Hey y'all, Clouds here. I've got some good news, or bad news, depending on how you feel about DLC. Battlefield 1's Premium Season Pass was officially announced in the past few days. I don't really see how you could be very surprised by this. I mean, the Premium Season Pass has been in Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Hardline, Battlefront. It seemed almost guaranteed Battlefield 1 would have Premium. Battlefield 1 Premium cost $50 US, the same price as other Battlefield Premium Season Passes. I know a lot of people don't like paid DLC because, of course, paid DLC maps and game modes fragments the game's player base, which leads to DLC maps and game modes eventually being nearly unplayable after a couple of years, because most of the people who originally bought the DLC have moved on to the next game, and then the other players who still play that game don't buy the DLC, and they definitely won't buy it now because no one plays it, so the DLC just dies. But making DLC does cost money, and you've got to fund the DLC somehow, so of course they're going to charge you for it. I know some people might point to games that have all of their DLC available for free. Titanfall 2, for example, another EA shooter coming later this year, will have all of their DLC available for free. But there's kind of one big reason for that. Let's be real. Titanfall is a game with a smaller core player base, and 6 months from now, not many people are even going to be playing the game. It might be a great game, but looking at Titanfall 1 and how its multiplayer lifespan seemed, kind of short, I can't help but feel that Titanfall 2 will be just like that. And if so few people are going to be playing Titanfall 2 in 6 months or 8 months' time, how could they realistically sell a season pass? And like I said before, they have to fund the DLC creation somehow. So if Titanfall 2's DLC maps and game modes are free, how else are they going to make money post-launch? Microtransactions, maybe? That's what a lot of other games do. Either that or EA has enough money to fund the game and the game's DLC, which I guess could be possible, but whatever the case, I don't think Titanfall 2's free DLC will be nearly as robust as Battlefield 1's paid DLC. For me personally, the Premium Season Pass has always been a good value. I put hundreds of hours into the Battlefield games that I play, so $50 for a lot of maps is a good value for me, You get all the maps for a lower price than if you would buying them individually. And there are, other perks like playing the DLC early and getting some exclusive camos. But that said, Premium has primarily always been about the maps for me, and I think for most other players. All that other stuff, it's just icing on the cake, it's just ketchup on the meatloaf. But Battlefield 1's Premium has less maps than Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 Premium. Battlefield 1 Premium only includes 4 map packs, similar to Battlefront and Hardline, for a total of 16 DLC maps, which is less than the amount of maps included in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4's Premium. Both Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 had 5 map packs for a total of 20 maps. So while Battlefield 1's Premium costs the same $50, you do get less value out of it, which, it's disappointing, but, well, assuming the game is good, that's still a good value because individually the map packs would cost $15, so, you do the math, 15, 30, 45, 60. Buying all the map packs individually would be $60, getting the Premium Pass is $50, and then you get, the other little perks like, playing the DLC early and whatever. But the Premium for Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, just from a map pack point of view, it was a better value. I'm not sure exactly why they're making less maps for Battlefield 1 compared to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. It could be a few things. One thing to consider is DICE is releasing major titles annually now. In 2015, they released Battlefront. In 2016, they are going to be releasing Battlefield 1. And in 2017, they will be releasing Battlefront 2. With them having so many games to make, they probably don't have enough people or time to make as much DLC as they did in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Another thing to consider is what role DICE LA will have in Battlefield 1. DICE LA actually made the majority of Battlefield 4's DLC. They developed 3 map packs, Second Assault, Dragon's Teeth, and Final Stand, as well as the 3 free maps, Zavad Graveyard Shift, Operation Outbreak, and Dragon Valley. They also provided a ton of post-launch support for Battlefield 4, including the CTE. So with the 4 map packs confirmed for Battlefield 1, I'm wondering how many, if any, DICE LA will develop. I think some portion of DICE LA will probably help support Battlefield 1 after its release, but I wouldn't be surprised if a majority of the studio is working on something else. In 2015, EA CEO Andrew Wilson stated, quote, "I have no doubt that DICE LA will be developing their own game at some point because it's a really, really passionate group of people," end quote. So could DICE LA finally be making their own Battlefield? Or maybe they're another reboot of Medal of Honor? Actually, considering DICE LA used to be Danger Close and their reboot of Medal of Honor failed, it's probably not going to be another Medal of Honor. But maybe another Battlefield. Time will tell. If they're making their own Battlefield game, I'm sure it'll be good. But I really hope the Battlefield series doesn't turn into a yearly release like Call of Duty. Okay, so 16 maps spread out over 4 map packs. What else do you get with Battlefield 1 Premium? You get 20 weapons. It doesn't state how many of these weapons are guns and how many are perhaps melee weapons. So if a decent portion of these 20 weapons are melee weapons, I personally will be disappointed. You also get 2 weeks early access to the map packs, 14 dog tags, 14 battle packs, new elite classes and new vehicles. I'm going to assume these new elite classes and vehicles will be tied to the DLC maps they're released in, similar to perhaps the tank destroyers and anti-air jeeps released in Battlefield 3's Armored Kill and in-game DLCs. You also get new game modes. So, pretty standard DLC stuff. Now, regarding the map packs, we don't know much about them, but we were given a few details. The first map pack includes the French Army and is called They Shall Not Pass, and it releases in March 2017. That release date is interesting to me because if you compare it to the DLC release schedule for Battlefield 4, Battlefield 4 released in 2013, and 3 Battlefield 4 map packs had released by March 2014. Compare that to Battlefield 1, and by the same time next year, only 1 map pack will be released. So it looks like maybe Battlefield 1's map packs will be released with wider gaps of time between them. Or maybe they won't. Maybe only the first map pack will take so long to release, and then once that one comes out, the others will be released with less time between them. Looking at how the Battlefield 1 Premium calendar might look, it seems to start in November 2016 and ends in December 2017. We can deduce that because the 14 premium battle packs release monthly starting November 2016. So I'd assume all of Battlefield 1's premium content will have released by December 2017, the last month we get a premium battle pack. Speculating on what the first map pack could be, They Shall Not Pass, I think it could center around the Battle of Verdun. The Battle of Verdun was one of the longest and most costly battles of World War I, lasting a little over 10 months and having upwards of 700,000 casualties across all sides. Germany planned to capture the city of Verdun, and over the course of several months, French forces held Germany out of the city. Considering the French army did not let them pass into Verdun, and the DLC is called They Shall Not Pass, I think this could be the focus of the first DLC. We also know an upcoming map pack will include the Russian Empire. We don't have a DLC name to give us hints on, what to speculate on what might be in that map pack, but I think DICE could include women in this DLC. Hear me out. You've probably seen a few videos or articles talking about some people think Battlefield 1 is sexist because the multiplayer only has male soldiers. Now, I could make an entire video on why I think this criticism is wrong, but I don't want to fill up this video with that. Anyway, I think DICE has a chance to include female soldiers in Battlefield 1 and to do it in an authentic way without totally caving in to the demands of, this sensitive Joss Whedon types. During World War I, Russia formed a few all-women combat units known as the Women's Battalion. Towards the end of the war, Russian government and military believed having female soldiers could revitalize the demoralized men of the Russian army and also shame some male soldiers into resuming their duties. Most of the women's battalions were not deployed to the Western Front, but the first Russian Women's Battalion of Death was. This unit of about 300 women was sent to participate in the Kerensky offensive and were involved in a battle near the town of Smarhan. The first Petrograd Women's Battalion could also be included in the DLC, as they were involved in the defense of the Winter Palace during the October Revolution, before ultimately surrendering due to being heavily outnumbered. As for what the other two map packs could involve, who knows? Right, so Battlefield 1 has premium. There's nothing new under the sun. I'll end with this though. Please don't buy premium yet. The first map pack doesn't even release until March of next year, so there's not really any good reason to buy premium yet. Wait until you have played the game before you spend $50 on DLC. Battlefield 1's open beta starts in a few days. The game looks good, but you don't know how good it is, so before you even commit to buying the game, let's play the beta and see how good it is. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of Battlefield 1's Premium Pass. I'll see you guys later. Bye.